Welcome to Guns and Gear Network, everyone. Appreciate you tuning in. Today I'm going to show you my 10 by 14 deluxe Kodiak Canvas Tent. Stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. Appreciate you tuning in. So today I'm going to show you around my Kodiak Canvas Tent. There's been tons and tons of videos about this tent all over YouTube and everywhere else, so I'm not really going to go into a lot of details with it, but I thought I would show you. In my opinion, Kodiak Canvas makes one of the best for the value canvas style tents on the market. There's other good manufacturers out there, Spring Bar, you know, some of the outfitter tents, even some of the Cabela's Alaknak tents get good reviews. So, but this one's very popular, this style, and I've just recently uploaded a video about the stove jack I installed, and you can go and look at it if you're going to question about the stove jack. I do have a video specific about that because that's one of the popular things that people like to consider doing with a canvas tent or the Kodiak Canvas. I'm just going to show you a few little pointers that I did with mine when you're setting yours up and kind of maybe make it easier, and I'll go over that. I'm going to take the camera off the tripod so it will be a little shaky, and we'll discuss the Kodiak Canvas tent as a whole. And this is the 10 by 14 deluxe, and I'll tell you about that here in a minute as far as what makes it the quote-unquote the deluxe. A few things that I did is I marked all my poles. So this one says Awning, so I know when I'm getting everything out of the bag. The cool thing about this tent, it's really easy to set up. I came out here yesterday, set everything up when I was wanting to install this stove jack. My son and my wife had went somewhere, and I was out here just by myself, and it took me, you know, 15-20 minutes, and I was taking my time, whatever. It just didn't take real long. But every pole that you see, so it has two poles on the side. These poles are captured, so there's two pieces here, but there's like a spring in the middle that holds it together. So it's really one pole if you want to call it that, but it's two poles. So you have the ones two for the side, and if you look, if you notice, I have that marked. It says side support. I'll just use my label gun and some tape. Then you have the bow itself. There's two of those, one there and one there, and then you have this piece up here. Notice I have an arrow, two arrows, and it says down, because if you put this together and that is facing the other way, it will not go together. So that's just something quick and easy. If I'm not around or somebody needs to set the tent up or it's late at night, I'll just remember that that goes in the downward position, because there's a little nub that comes out of that little T right there that coincides with this pole that needs to go into. Plenty room, plenty spacious. Real easy to put up. The one thing you'll notice here is this is a painter's pole with a tennis ball attached to the end of it. And what it is putting this awning. I'm going to show you real quick two things. So if you look how this looks, where it creates that little peak and it comes down. Well, that's two things. It allows this to drain easier, and also it gives me headroom to get in and out. I'm gonna take this out real quick, this pole, and if you look, it's not gonna drain as easy, and it's also a lot lower now. So you don't have to use this painter pole. I just thought it was pretty cool, and because of the way this is designed, where the doors are and everything, it sits in the middle. Door to the right, window to the left, and it does not get in the way at all. So they make a vestibule that goes on the outside of this if you want to close this in. I do not have the vestibule. I bought this tent actually used from a gentleman, pretty good deal on it. So he'd used it like twice. Kids kind of grown up on him, grew up on him before he could really get a chance to use it a whole lot. Again, you'll see where it says Awning on that pole there. I marked them originally with just Sharpie, and then went back and did the tape thing. Again, showing the pole. and it's set up. See how it's marked? And then this one's marked on the back side somewhere over there. So the deluxe model has 2 doors, front and rear, and then this right here is a window. That's a door. The no-seam mesh, it's called. I have got this staked out in 4 corners. There's some more areas that I could stake it. I don't have it staked like that. Really nice YKK zippers with zipper pulls on it. Zips out. Show you the inside real quick. There's the stove jack. That is the stove jack that you do not have to sew to put in. So what makes this the deluxe tent? See that vent right there, and there's another one on this wall up there. So that's part of the deluxe system. The 2-door system there and that corner opposite of each other. So that's part of the deluxe tent. These, this is like a attic or a little loft. That does come out, so you can take it and move it to one side or the other. That is included in the deluxe setup. Also, these hangers here, storage compartments. This one and this one. This one has small pockets. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a big pocket. This one has just one big pocket. So that's part of the deluxe setup also. You also have, down at the bottom down there, you have a little small compartment for storage, as well as over here. Those are under the windows, not the doors, for obvious reasons. That way you don't have to worry about it. One thing I will tell you, if it's late at night, if you notice the door does not zip all the way down. So you've got this little bitty, kind of a trip hazard almost if you're not careful. If it's late at night, not paying attention, make sure you're paying attention going in and out, that you're stepping over that when you go in and out of your tent. But the top, it's kind of it's a lighter color, so it does allow sunlight to come through. It's got hangers up here, hang different things. On this stove jack here, if I wanted to take a welding blanket and attach it here, kind of drape it under to protect this back wall. I've got 18 inches of clearance, which is pretty standard for wood stoves and walls and that kind of thing. There's a video, like I said, about specifics. I know people are going to ask that question, dig around, and I'll just put it in the section below because that's one of the more popular questions, including myself before I ever installed this wood stove, was how to do it, you know, and that sort of thing. So, but great tent if you are considering buying something like this for a long-term shelter option for prepping, elk camp, deer camp, what have you. Great option. There's a few guys out there that's done some videos about this. I think one is Out West with Chris. He's done videos about this tent in elk season. There's one video floating around, if you can find it, and again, it wasn't Out West with Chris, it was another guy that does some YouTube videos, and he showed this tent. It was 3 tents total, a Kodiak Canvas like this one and 2 others set up at elk camp, and they had a bad winter storm come through. High sustained winds, snow, and everything else. The only tent left standing after all that was this one here, was the Kodiak Canvas. So these things will take a lot of punishment and remain standing and keep you safe and warm. So they've got a great reputation, and again, if you're watching this video, I'm probably preaching to the choir. You've probably seen tons of videos about this, or you're strongly considering it. I can only tell you from my experience, they're awesome. So that's what, you know, just based on the reviews alone and people's experience showing them on whether it be YouTube or Facebook or whatever, led me to buy this one. And I just so happened got very lucky and found it locally. So from a prepping perspective, I've gotten so lucky finding stuff local that I thought I would never find. This stove that you see in there is an Alpine. It is the Camp Chef Alpine stove, and I was getting ready to order one. They're like $198, including shipping, on Amazon. I found it local, brand new in the box, for I think me and the guy wound up agreeing on 125 bucks. So that's my point, is shop around. I found this Kodiak Canvas tent. I did have to drive 2 hours to get it, but I think I saved like a couple $100 if I remember correctly. It's about $700 total, I think, with everything, $699-ish, whatever. And I think I paid him $450 maybe, something like that, $500. So my point is, before you go out and buy stuff from a prepping or that kind of angle, make sure you're watching your dollars and look on. I just happened to find it on Marketplace, so I've just gotten so lucky lately finding stuff that I thought I'd never find. I figured it was a needle in a haystack, and sure enough, I did find it. But anyway, guys, if you gain experience with the Kodiak Canvas tent, be sure to share that with us. If you're considering one, I would highly recommend them. Well worth it, I think. Like I said, it's not, this should be self-explanatory, but they're not for backpacking, they're not for hiking or anything like that. These things are crazy heavy, but they're crazy heavy duty too. So this is more for car camping, long-term, something as far as prepping, long-term shelter, things like that. But anyway, guys, hope that was helpful. If you got any questions, post those below. If you got any experience with the Kodiak Canvas tent, be sure to share that with us, or your thoughts. And as always, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Bring another video shortly. Have a great day.